How's it going, everybody? My name is Turo and I'm finally back with the Aprilia RX 88cc project. Now I know it's been a bit over a week since my last video where I told you that I'm trying to go make videos every week, but it has been awfully rainy here, so I couldn't paint these engine cases. But now that I have painted them and it hadn't rained, it's ready to be mounted to the frame. And I tried to film a engine assembly video about this, but it was my first time using the chest mount for the GoPro, so it kind of failed, and I didn't bother uploading it to YouTube. But hopefully this head mount is a bit better. I don't know how well you can see all of this. Hope well enough. Now, as you can see, everything here is painted and ready to be assembled, and a huge thanks goes to Motorsports Coating for painting all my parts. They painted the cylinder head, the frame, the subframe, wheels, and the spring and everything. So yeah, without them this project wouldn't be finished this year. So yeah, without further ado, let's get mounting the engine. And I think it's the only thing I'll do in this video, because it's only a short progress video. Mounting the engine and maybe the subframe, which is actually from KTM 300 EXC originally. And why I'm going with this subframe is because I'm going to be putting, as I said in my previous motovlog video, KTM EXC 300 fuel tank and fairings. So yeah, I will be mounting this later, but now it's time for the engine itself. Let's see if I can fit it easily enough. I have all the necessary bolts here. These three should be long enough, I hope, because if not I'll have to... oh no. Well, this one is long enough, but for the most front mount I think I'll have to go find another bolt. Also, the spark plug is really useful to remove when you're mounting the engine, so it doesn't scrape the frame, freshly painted frame. Also, I should try to lift the front up so the engine won't be in so bad angle. Let's see here. A lot better now. Let's see. Yep, it goes in with ease. It's much easier to mount than some derby engines, for example. They just don't want to fit. First we'll mount the bolts, and then we will see if we need shims, so the engine doesn't vibrate too much. There's one, and the second one. Yep, looking good. Yep, and now there is only the front one left, which is unfortunately too short, but it will hold it in place for now. Yeah, looks pretty good. Now I'll have to use some shims that I have bought for this thing. I think I can fit like 2 to this mount and let's see here, maybe 1 on the lower mount. But the front mount seems to need a bigger shim here, like almost 5mm shim. And now that I've rebuilt the engine, it has really good compressions, and I'm going to show you how good shape this engine is in. Let's just put the spark plug back on. Let's say it might be even hard to start. There are so much compressions. As you can see, and probably hear, it's hard to even cycle the engine without using a foot. Yeah, let's now just use the shims. This one might be hard to get out. I have 10 of these really small shim plates, and I think they should be enough for this, but you never know. Let's see if I can fit even 1 shim in there. Oh, not gonna grab that many. Yeah, fitting even 1 shim is pretty hard. But that's just a good thing. Yep, this mount here doesn't need any shims, but the lower one could use one. In the next video I'm going to be painting the swing arm with the same color as this engine, and then mounting it with the rear shock, which is also the same color as the engine there. And I'm trying to get the first start this week, because I don't want any external noise from vibrations, so I'm going to be running the engine every time I add a new part, so I can hear if it's rattling and needs to be tightened better or something. Also, I'll have to change the steering bearings here, because well, they were already bad and now there's paint on them, so I've actually ordered new ones that are up there waiting, but it's going to be kinda tricky getting this one out. I have proper tools for it, but it can still take some time, but I'll try to make that in the next video also. And the plan is to get this whole project completed before winter, so I can still drive around, because I'll have to go to army in January, and then I cannot make any driving videos. first shim is in. Yep, now the only one that wiggles is the most front one, and I don't want to tighten this down before I get the right bolt for this front mount, but I might actually have one in there, so I'll check it out first and come back to you when I figure it out. So good news, I found the right bolt, but the threads on the very end were stripped, but luckily I was able to do some repair work, and I think this will now work as it should. So let me just take that one out and poke the new one in, but first we will put some shims there. I think the hole in these ones, oh, it's just perfect. I found a couple of these huge washers from a box, so I think I can fit at least one of these. I think they are like, don't know, 1 to 3 millimeters in thickness. Yep, one fits perfectly. And I think we don't need more than that, because the one will tighten when I actually bolt the engine on, and 2 might be just too much. Yeah, so with one there is almost no play, and I think that will do just fine, but it's kind of loose there, so maybe I'll try to put one really small shim there still. Yeah, I think 1.25 millimeter shim will fit also. Where did it go? Oh yeah, this is good now. So, time to actually bolt the engine on. I will hold the bolt from the other side with a 13 millimeter wrench, and I think I'll have to use this bad boy right here, if I still have the size 13. Hope this is long enough. Looks like it. Kind of little space there, so let's do it like this. Will be a lot easier when I can do full turns. Yep. It really stays there. Now that's good for now. Then the rest too. It's going better than I expected. Now I need a hex screwdriver head. I don't know if I have the right piece for this. So I found the right piece for this bit to fit, and now I can tighten the rest of the bolts finally. Let's see here. As you can see, we made these mounts with my friend, and there is a slight gap because they were kind of crooked, but I think this end will get closer to the engine itself when I tighten it down properly. So let's see. Yep, it's bending back to where it's supposed to be. Actually, I'll leave this one last. I'll open it up a bit, because if these mounts aren't centered and they want to pull the engine in a bad position, I can tighten the original mounts first, so the engine will be centered, and then these mounts will bend to the right angle. I hope the camera angle isn't too bad, because I can't really see what it's filming at the moment. So if you can see my moped at all at the moment, hope you can see something. It's getting tight again. I think it's tight enough now. Now the last one. Moment of truth. I really hope this one doesn't snap, because it's not the best possible weld out there. Okay, looks good. And obviously doesn't wiggle around. Now it's time to change these bolts here on the clutch case itself. I actually bought new ones for better looks, and I think I'll actually take part in a motorcycle / moped expo when the world situation is a bit better and they can finally hold or keep those, and see if people like my bike. By the way, if somebody wants to know what paint I used for the engine, I think I have it here. Let's see. Yeah, this is the one. Gunmetal grey, metallic grey from Maston. This is like 8 euros per can. It's really cheap and I think it looks awesome. This engine looks basically brand new. Couldn't be more happier. Yeah, one more hole, then it's ready. Now what I'm trying to do here is to make this bike feel and look like it's brand new, because I got custom a frame number for this bike, which means I can legally register it as a light motorcycle or A2 motorcycle, which is up to 35 kilowatts of power and unlimited engine displacement. So I wanted to feel like it's a brand new bike straight from the factory, and I'll be making a Finnish moto vlog about how to do that, how you can register your moped as a light motorcycle, because that's really usual topic here in Finnish moped forums, that can you register your moped as a light motorcycle with a 70cc kit or 80cc kit, and the short answer would be yes, you can. But I'm going to tell you how and what it costs when this bike is ready and I can finally make moto vlogs with it. But yeah, now it's time to try to mount the subframe. I think I'll use one of the remaining bolts for this. Yep, it's gonna be just fine, I think. Or will it? Actually, I don't know. This might be a bit too long, but luckily I have a shorter bolt here, which will probably be just fine. Yep, gonna use this one. Now we custom made or welded all these mounting points for this subframe, and I think it's going to fit perfectly, but I'm not sure if we made good enough job there. Yeah, it looks good. So we have holes there. This one isn't a hole through, so I think I'll need to make threads in there so I can thread a small bolt in there. But the other one is a hole through, so I can just use one of these and put a bolt on the other side.